I've come full circle. When I was 13, I started a junior fishing club in my village, the Fisheries Angling Club. And there wasn't a lot to do in Fisheries in the 1970s, you know, there wasn't, you know, there certainly wasn't Facebook, there wasn't much television. And every kid in the village came and fished the matches. And that club actually kept going until, I don't know, 92, 93, when I could basically no longer run it because I couldn't afford a mortgage and to keep running up from Watford to Shropshire every weekend. But I've always had an interest in, you know, in getting young kids involved. And I suppose really when Canal River Trust became a charity, all of a sudden it became important that we engaged with anglers again and got more people back on our waterways. And it was obvious to me, and obvious from the rod licence figures, that the number of anglers in the sport was dropping. Still is dropping if you look at rod licence sales, and you can argue whether they're the best measure, but they're certainly one measure. And so I thought, well, I better do something about this. Canal River Trust wanted me to try and do something about this. And I remember ringing up a friend from years ago who I taught to fish, a lad called Simon Mottram. I said, Motty, got a bit of a problem. How do we get kids fishing again? He said, well, it's easy. He said, all you got to do, you know, is do what you did at Grunley Brook. He said, but just on a national scale. And I think he's probably right, but doing it on a national scale.
I mean, it's easily said, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. But I'm not really. The model is no different, essentially, to what we were doing in the 70s and 80s, only that back in that era, nipping it, in the 70s there was 5 fishing clubs with a junior section in Whitchurch, Shropshire, population 8,000.
Yeah.
So on a Sunday morning there'd be, at the start of the season in June, there'd have to be 50 or 60 kids in Whitchurch fishing a match. Now I'm not saying they were all still fishing by the time it got down to October and the Canal Autumn Leagues, they wouldn't be, but there'd still be 20 going.